Alright gang, welcome back to another AutoCAD video. Today we're going to be looking at how we can go about starting our LED sign using AutoCAD to draw the outside shape of our sign. So if you remember back in the Schoology assignment, it shows you or explains to you the overall size or parameters that you can work within to create your design. The sign is not going to be very big. The overall size can be up to 5 inches wide and up to 12 inches tall. However, the taller the sign, the less likely the light will travel all the way to the top. So just as a reference for you. If there's anything that obstructs the ability for the light to travel through the acrylic, that will also impact how far the light will make it through the sign as well. So keeping your design a little bit on the smaller side is definitely going to be significantly better than if you do something big. But just to give you an overview of the process to get started, I went ahead and used the overall size parameters to create a design to show you. So here I have a potential trophy or award that I could use with the LED base. And so again, the overall width here is 5 inches by 12 inches. The cutout at the very bottom here, as you can see, has a little bit of a shoulder on both sides. Think of this similar to like a tenon, if we're a Morrison tenon joint that we make here in class. And that needs to be 3 1/8 for the length of that and 1/2 inch deep. So best thing for you to do is draw the 5 by 12 box or rectangle like I started with, and then give yourself some offset lines similar to the keychain project or some construction lines to offset similar to the keychain project, so you can find dead center and be able to offset the drawing both ways. Okay, so I would go ahead and create a rectangle. Again, I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing this in and putting in my measurements, because you can't measure after you've drawn the rectangle. You have to measure as you are creating the rectangle. So 5 inches, I'm going to lock that in by hitting the tab button. 12 inches as well there. At this point, I can go ahead and use the line tool and draw some reference lines here. I like to do one along the bottom edge as well as one along the side here. So I know that the bottom piece of the acrylic can't be any more than a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 1/2 inch for that. So I'll use the offset tool, type in 1/2 inch, 0.5, and select the bottom line that I drew and move that up into the rectangle there. And then I'll go ahead and also offset that vertical line off to the left side, but I have to change how much I'm offsetting. So again, overall size that you can work with is 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the middle of 5, which would be 2.5. And from here, then I can go ahead and give myself another offset to show the shoulder here. Now, just as a review for you, all right, what I did was I drew half of this bottom piece here, so I can actually find the center, and that is 1.5625. So from the center, I offset that same distance both directions. So specify my distance, 1.5625. Hit enter and select that line, offset it both ways there, and then I can go back and I can use the trim tool to get rid of anything that I don't need, which would be right there. All right, and so that gets you started. Obviously your designs, like I said, are going to be up to you. One other thing that I do want to point out to you is that anywhere where you see a line, that is going to be a spot where the laser would cut. So for this example, I would need to do some trimming here. For example, at the very top, this circle here, if I wanted to keep this circle intact with the rest of this design that I have, I actually would need to trim here and here to keep that. Same thing along the sides here. If I keep this line down the middle, then obviously I'm going to cut through that, and so I will need to trim that as well. So you can see how things will have to be changed or altered. Now, if you're like, I really like these lines and I want them to be engraved, then that's fine. What will need to happen is we'll actually create two AutoCAD files to import into the laser program to actually cut this out and engrave it. And we'll talk more about that as you get into the next video or next portion of this project in this assignment, in the assignments to come. So just keep that in mind. Anywhere where you see a line, that's going to cut all the way through, and so you'll need to delete those things. As far as submitting, we'll go over that in the next video as you work through this assignment. Looking forward to seeing your ideas as they come together, and feel free to go back and watch this video or read through the instructions again so that you get clarification on any questions that you might have. All right, talk to you guys later.